what's going on with this? Why does it look like this? Hold on. Maximize that. Hopefully everybody can see me. Yeah, hopefully everything is working. Let me check my phone. I do this every time just to make sure, like, you know, just to make sure, like, let me see. Let me see. All right. Everything should be working. Yeah, everything should be working. So I'm gonna get right into it actually. So, all right. I just had to make sure like the stream was straight because it's a little bit overlapping on this side. So I just had to make sure like, everything everything was okay. Um Actually I might gotta stop it and redo it. Let me see. I don't know why it's doing this right now, right here. Like what's going on with this? The screen isn't really full. It's not really full. Let me see something. Okay, that's straight. What about this? A little more. No. Alright. That's alright. It's okay. I mean, because for the most part, you just want to be looking at the screen in a way. Oops. Alright, I think I know what to do now. Alright, that's fine, bro. Let's see if I can still fix it before I even continue. Like, because it was fine before I pressed record. At least I thought it was fine. Let me see. Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna look at my phone to see how it looks. Alright, on my phone, it's pretty straight. So, I'm not gonna try to make it look the best. Like, this is only my second stream anyways. So, it's fine. I ain't gonna try to make it look the best or anything. Alright, I think I'm actually straight. So, I'm straight. Alright. So, like you see in the title, we're just gonna be, backtesting, catching sniper entries. Yesterday, I caught a 1 to 11, bro. Yesterday, in one of these trades, I caught a 1 to 11. Like, bro, I caught a 1 to 11. See, but, all right, anyways, let's get right to it, bro. So, price is bullish. The external trend of this price, of this trend is bullish. So if price is bullish, that means, right, this is my previous bullish break of structure. And honestly, this is another one. So I have two bullish break of structures, right? And really, I can mark this one as an internal break of structure, but until price shows me something, for right now, there's going to be just a regular break of structure. That means that this is my swing low. Swing high is not determined. Is not determined. But for right now, I'm going to focus on this because this is my previous swing high. I mean, my previous break of structure. So since this is my previous break of structure, that means that this is my swing low. And until if price breaks out of this, then I just reanalyze. But this is my swing low, and this up here is my swing high. But like I said, price hasn't really started reversing. So honestly, that swing high is not really valid. So since price is in an uptrend, that means what I should only be looking for buying opportunities. So this is a demand zone that's swept liquidity, right? And one of these lessons, I'm going to go over liquidity. I just haven't done it yet because I had no reason to. Um, this is the pivot candle, and let me show you what I mean by this. So in my trade plan, right after the liquidity sweep, the candle that made the liquidity sweep, once price breaks above that, that's my fractal market shift. And whatever candle creates the fractal market shift is my pivot candle. So you see how, all right, this is the liquidity candle. So basically, this is the candle that's up liquidity, right? Price broke out of this candle way over here. And what led to this move is this pivot candle. So this is my demand zone, right? And guess what? This demand zone also sub liquidity. So this is a high probability zone, the sub liquidity. And all I anticipate price to come down here, tap into my area, drop down to my 15-minute, look for my entry criteria, and enter the trade. Now, before I even continue, in this trading session, I might fumble a little bit. And what I mean by that is currently I'm trying to understand how liquidity and session times interact with each other. So how does London and New York and Asia sessions and the overlap session, how do they intertwine with each other? So in this session, I'm really going to specifically be only entering a trade in the sessions that I need to enter the trade in. And this is my first time actually trying to do this, so I might not catch a sniper entry. I might get stopped out or whatever, but I'm being real, so I'm not trying to make it seem like everything is perfect. And yeah, so I'm working my higher time frame structure. So now I go to my 15-minute time frame, and in my 15-minute time frame, which is my medium time frame, for me, which is my medium time frame, I always look for my. I'm tripping. On my medium time frame, I basically do the same thing I do on my higher time frame, which is identify structure. This is my previous internal break of structure. That means that this is my swing low. My swing high is not determined. Well, my swing high is not really determined, but I mean, my swing high is really where this line is up here. So that's my swing high. So before I even continue to identify price, I see that there is equal highs here, right? There's equal highs. And equal highs, what do they create? Liquidity. So the there's liquidity sitting above here. So I anticipate price to, sweep that like just starting off. Right. And so since there's liquidity up there, um I know that price is gonna go up eventually. So I can have that in mind. Price is gonna go up because of liquidity, right? But also price is gonna come down because I expect a reversal. And what I mean by that is, right, I see that look at this do this. I see that this is my bullish breaker structure, right? So price is going to eventually start to retrace. Right? Price is going to eventually start to pull back. Why? Because price doesn't go up forever. It has to come back down. Right? And so since I know that, I basically can use that as my advantage, right? So when price sweeps this liquidity, which most likely is going to do that before it comes down, right? To go down, So what I mean by that is price is most likely going to go up to sweep liquidity, then come down to tap into the demand, right? Give me another liquidity sweep and then give me another bullish break of structure. That is what I anticipate. And honestly, let's just see what happens. All right. But before we even continue to do that, let me look to the left a little bit. Let me see what do I see on my 15 minute. Like I said, this is my bullish break of structure. This was a demand zone that swept liquidity. Right. This was the candle that this is the pivot candle. And guess what? Price tapped into this area a few times, several times, right? And when it tapped into this area, it created a demand chain. This was another demand zone that swept liquidity, right? Yeah, it swept liquidity from this area, swept liquidity from about here. So price is really creating a demand chain, right? So yeah, it's creating a demand chain. So basically, what I expect now that I know that is price to come back down here and do the same exact thing because price moves in patterns. Literally, it moves in patterns. It came down here, sub liquidity, it went up. Didn't have enough liquidity. Came back down, grabbed more liquidity, went up. Still didn't have enough liquidity. As you can see, as you can see in this area right here, there's a lot of resistance. Like like it is going up, but then sellers are pushing it back down. So there's a lot of resistance in this area. So eventually you see that price broke out of this area, which caused the market shift, which also caused the bullish break of structure, right? So that means what demand has officially stepped into the market and now price is way up here. Price is way up here. So that means two things could happen. One, sellers could just come back and take over. Two, demand can cause price to continue going back up. And honestly, I don't look for anything. I don't look for any entries right now. I don't look for anything. I'll simply just watch, see what the market does. But honestly, the first thing I need is a liquidity sweep. All right, boom. It didn't go way up there. And sometimes price just doesn't do that, right? So it came up here. Let me zoom in more so I could get very precise because I really like to be precise right on my entries. So actually price created more liquidity, but over here it swept these highs. Like I said, sometimes price doesn't need to come and sweep every single high. Maybe that's where it wanted to go, right? Maybe this could be an inducement. This could be a whole trap right here for price to continue to go back up. But let's just see what happens when price gets back to the supply zone. Now, what I mean by that is if this supply zone was to do its job, when price comes back up here, it will tap into it and then it will come in with a lot of bearish momentum, creating another bearish break of structure. But if this supply zone was not to do its job, price will most likely blast right through there. Or it might come up there, tap into it a little bit, come down, and then blast right through there. But overall price is going to blast right through there if supply is not doing its job. So, like I said, we're not looking for any entries right now. We're honestly just looking to see what price is doing. Like, and this is me building the narrative of price. Boom, right here. My price broke below the swing low, which is my last bullish break of structure. Um, this is my market shift. Now, if I really want to be even more mechanical and even more precise, I can zoom in right here because price actually been giving my market share right. I can zoom in. I can see that this was a break of structure. I can see that this was a break of structure. I can see that this was also a break of structure. So guess what? The break of structure happened way right here. I mean, the market shift happened way right here. Honestly, and the way I pictured that is because Now, if you don't understand now, if you don't understand what I'm seeing that's going on to the lower time frames, and guess what? The lower time frames is just going to rat on itself, right? Where was it at? About here. Let's go here. You see this? Literally, it ratted on itself. See, this is my last break of structure here. Market shift happened right there. Same thing. It just the more you understand price, the more you see patterns, all of this will start to make sense. Now, guess what? This is a supply zone that swept liquidity. Let me grab some to drink. My bad. I like to be very hydrated when I speak, but like I said, this is a supply zone right here that swept liquidity. So this is a high probability zone. So price is most likely going to respect this zone than any other supply zone that it might create. It really might respect this more than this fair value gap. Now, I'm not going to say it's not going to respect the fair value gap, but honestly, I personally don't trade fair value gaps. I trade um what can I call this? Like order blocks, pivot candles, whatever you want to call this. This is what I trade. Just simply market mechanics. So this is a market shift slash liquidity sweep. And why does I say liquidity sweep? Because right, you see how this is a V-shaped reaction. This is a very sharp reaction. And again, if you cannot see it, let's go back down to the lower time frames. See, you see how sharp that is, a V-shaped reaction, right? So the fact that that is a V-shaped reaction, that shows me that that is a liquidity sweep. So, and where did it sweep liquidity from? Not just from this area, but also swept liquidity from here, right? And let me show you what I mean by that. These are inducements down here, or in other words, these are swing lows. So the fact that there is a swing low, price can wait on there, it swept liquidity, and guess what? My entry model paid out, but I would not take no trade. And what I mean by my entry model is after the liquidity candle, my entry model is I wait for price to get above the candle that swept liquidity. And in this scenario, it did. But I wouldn't enter for any buys because even if price was to come up here and come back down, I would not enter for buys because that is not my trade plan. And plus, look what price is. It's in the middle of nowhere. So why even, take that risk? Because price may come up, but then it will come back down. So yeah, no. So honestly, I just continue to wait for price to get to my point of interest. I don't even. So basically, the narrative that I have is price is bearish. It gave me a supply zone of sub liquidity here. It gave me a supply zone of sub liquidity, right? And so what I need for price to do is tap into the zone, and then I need price to come back down into this area. I need price to tap into the zone, and then I need me to go to the 5 minute and look for my entry criteria. I don't know what I was just talking about. I don't know why I said that. But and we can see as price continues to get closer and closer to the supply zone, the bullish momentum is running out. You know. So I expect the supply, there we go, momentum to be stepping in. Oops, price just tapped into my area. So let me go back. Price just tapped into my area. Guess what? We're gonna go on a 5 minute time frame. On a 5 minute time frame, we look for the same exact things, literally. All right, 5 minute time frame. What do we see? A supply zone of sub liquidity, check. Right, a high probability zone, check. We zoom in into that 15 minute point of interest, and we look for a 5 minute point of interest within the 15 minute point of interest, which is here. This is a pivot candle that led to the imbalance. Price tapped into that. So what I expect, since this is an inducement, I expect price to sweep a liquidity sweep ugly. Let's see. Literally right there. Price gave me the liquidity sweep. All right. Boom. Liquidity sweep. So now I expect, right, price to break below this candle, which is going to give me that fractal market shift. It did not do it. All right, there may be insufficient liquidity. So basically, price is most likely coming up even more. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame to see why will price continue to go up. This 1 minute time frame is very choppy right now. I cannot lie. It is absolutely, it looks crazy right now. But the fact that I can see something, but this may not be official. Price may not come up here, but let's just mark that for right now and see what price does. But yeah, let's just mark that for now. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Let's just see if price even gets up there. All right, it gets very close, still gets close, but it's also creating liquidity. So I need price to actually go back up there. All right, if it breaks past this area, okay. All right, so this demand zone could still be doing its job. All right, so that just showed me. So what I just seen was because I did a little bit of talking to myself for a second. But what did I see? Price came way up here, right? And in my trade plan, whatever it is, the liquidity candle, I need price to close below that. And price closed below it here, but honestly, what is that? That is not valid enough for me to be looking for any trades. And look at the candles itself. All of these candles are indecisive. So neither the buyers or the sellers are winning. They are at a draw. They're in the middle. Then nobody's winning right now. But once this bearish momentum came into the market, and once it closed below this demand zone here, that's when I knew, okay, well, really here. That's when I knew, okay, like that's what I need to see. I needed to see this demand zone fail. And what demand zone am I talking about? This one. And I know, for people who just not even specific people, but more of like this is kind of weird. How is a demand zone and a supply zone? It's very simple. I look at the minor things, not just the overall structure. I look at the small things. Like this is a demand zone. How this is demand zone? Because look at the price tapped into it and the cost price to go up. It may not have went up significantly, but it still went up. Price came back down, went up, came down, went up, came down, went up, and eventually it broke out of the zone, which means that this demand zone did not do its job. Which means that this was not a strong demand zone, right? And the fact that price broke at the point that I needed it to break, my entry would have been here, honestly. And why there? Well, let's look again. This is a supply zone right here that's for liquidity. It gave me the fractal market shift. It gave me an official fractal market shift here. Because honestly, my fractal market shift is supposed to be here. But these candles were not I couldn't cooperate with those candles. Nah, I really couldn't. Like the candles are very choppy. They're going on 1 minute time frame to see something. No, my 1 minute time frame, it looks a little bit more cleaner. All right. Wait, let me see something. Let me actually go back to my 5 minute and mark it. Right. So this is where I want the price to come to. Well, this is the liquidity candle. That means I want the price to close here. So honestly, my entry probably would have been happened on 1 minute time frame. So my 1 minute time frame, price closed way down here, but still it closed at the point I needed to close under, right? So it didn't close under until let me see something. It didn't close under until I can say it's kind of weird on 1 minute, honestly. So this is what I would do. And that's when you have to move differently. You have to just adapt to the market. So this is a liquidity. This is a zone of sub liquidity, right? Price created more liquidity, but I can see it's sub liquidity above there. This is a swing low. So honestly, I probably will wait for that one to be closed underneath instead of this one. All right. So basically, in this scenario, it's a little bit different. And I'm kind of stepping outside of my trade plan, right? Because price didn't do what I wanted it to do. It's doing a lot of weird movements, but nothing too weird to where I cannot cooperate, right? So, like I said, since price up liquidity here, and this is my liquidity candle. Oh, I'm tripping. So it's on my 1 minute time frame. Price closed way right here. I'm tripping. On my 5 minute, it just looked okay. On my 1 minute, it's way down here. So guess what? My entry actually would have been here. My entry actually would have been. My price came back up here. That's why I would have entered it. Stop loss would have been here. And why would I enter there? I did not place that right there. Okay, I don't like when it does that. But so, all right, this is my liquidity candle. Let me explain to you one more time in case you don't understand me. This the candle that I'm sitting on, this doji candle, that is my liquidity candle. In my trade plan, price had to close below that candle, creating a fractal market shift. A fractal market shift basically means whatever happens on a higher time frame must happen on a lower time frame first because price is fractal. So the fact that price closed below this candle tells me that okay, price is bearish, right? So and honestly, this could be a trap, right? This could be a trap of all sorts, right? And probably honestly, because I would have stayed on my 5 minute time frame. But if I was on my 1 minute time frame the whole time, yes, I would have entered right there. But I'm not gonna take that entry because price is already way down here. But what I am gonna do is this is my new entry here. This is my new entry. I probably need a liquidity sweep above this. I probably need some type of liquidity. Boom, there we go. Liquidity, and now I need price to close below this candle right here. Boom, it closes below. So now my new entry is here. And price is moving a little bit too weird, honestly. It may not be a good setup, but and honestly, like I said, I don't know why it's doing that. I hate when it does this. Like I just wish it could just land on the one that I put. It's cool, it's fine. I got my 1 minute time frame. All right. All right. Our price is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. So this can really be like a more of a sniper entry. I can place my stop loss just here. All right. Oh yeah, because price is shifting. Okay, yeah, price is gonna come down. My take profit can just be here, honestly. 1 to 6. Now I can go for the one to whatever this is down here. Honestly, I'm thinking about doing that. Um, no, I'm just gonna keep it there, just to be a little bit conservative, a little bit safe. Like 1 to 6 is fine. So, like I said, I am going to be looking at the sessions, right? Because I normally don't. So, guess what? The overlap session is probably about to open right now because it usually opens at 5:59. 5:59. That's wrong. I'm looking at the wait. No, hey, I might see it wrong. Hey, I might be looking at something. Let me see the overlap session. What does it say? Oh, 5:59 in the morning. You know what? How about this? I take that one off and I use the other one. I really just started using that, so like, okay. All right, so the London session is open. So it's actually just open um not too long ago. Okay. I see Asia swept New York's high, right? And now London is open. And let's see what happened previously. London swept New York. London swept Asia's highs. Let's go back even further. London swept Asia's highs. So you see the pattern? London sweeping Asia high, New York not doing nothing. London sweeping Asia highs, New York not doing nothing. So what you think is gonna happen right here? Like even though my trade plan, this is my entry. Price is most likely about to do the same thing. So if price is about to do the same thing, guess what? Price is most likely about to come here, right? And if it doesn't go there, then it's fine. Like I just missed out on my entry, right? But honestly, I feel like price is gonna come up here, sweep more highs, and then start to hit right now. So let's actually just see what price is gonna do. Like I said, if it just goes down, then I was just wrong. But look at that, it goes up. Okay, I just want to see. I want to take it a little bit slow. Okay, it gets way up there. Doesn't really sweep any highs. I needed to sweep the high. Boom, sweeps the high. I needed to close. Okay, so I'm glad I did not enter. All right, because you see what happened. It came to the point of interest, but I need to sweep the high, and that's why you don't just enter. All right, that was my liquidity candle. Boom, that's my entry. This is my entry here. And let's see what happened in the past. So after London swept Asia's high in the past, what happened? Price continued to go up. In this scenario, price actually reversed. So oil went up, then it reversed. So I'm still going to enter because now my entry model is presenting itself. All the sessions liquidity has been swept. And I just enter. Oops. Not if I get stopped out, it's totally fine, honestly. Like, cause who's gonna win them all? You know, like who's gonna win them all? But I will mark this area. Well, price is already there, so I'm actually just gonna enter right there then, on my 1 minute time frame. It's not getting to the exact point that I wanted at, but I'm just gonna put it right there. Stop loss just above here. Right. Um, take profit. Number take profit. Honestly, is going to be at the London lows, and this is a 1 to 7. Let's just see what happens. Boom, stopped out. I stopped out so fast, and let's see what happens after. Bro, oh, jeez. Bro, if this comes down and hit my TP, bro, bro, dog. All right, I'm about to say, but still, it came down pretty deep. So apparently, my whole analysis was just wrong. Like, like, okay, okay. So price was never respecting. I didn't even realize price was consolidating right here, but price never respected any of my supply zones. Like in this whole area here, none of my supply zones was respected. A little bit, but not enough to break price. So I lost the trade. Um, I lost the trade. So oops, this is what I'm gonna do. Like I do always. So 60 times 50. 6 times 50. Lost $300. So this is a decent loss, right? And like I said, always every time that I lose, or every time that I take a trade, I reflect it to my if I were using a wait, why is this doing that? I reflect it to if I was using a futures account, right? So I entered at 45 140. I'm not showing you this because I'm just typing my stuff in. I just, don't want to waste time flipping back and forth. 45 170. So, like I said, um, I have like I just need to work on my sessions. 44 930. I just need to work on like my sessions and how liquidity ties in with those sessions. Um, yeah, that's one thing I definitely need to work on. Um, so I can put. I guess I could share it now. Liquidity ties ties into sessions. What also could have been better, my analysis. Um, I didn't I didn't realize that price, oops, was not respecting the supply zones. What also could have been better, um, just overall my analysis, honestly. Yeah. So why did I enter? I think I really just forced my bias, honestly. Um, I I wanted price to come down. Price did not show me, but I forced it. Cool. I had the screenshots later. All right. So in this trade, I just lost right here. Nice old 300. So yeah, this is a this is actually a bad loss. This is not even a good loss. That was a bad loss. Um, so yeah, honestly, I'm gonna hit up another one, before I even end this, cause I was really like, I'm thinking about like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I might just end the stream, but no, I'm actually about to erase everything and reanalyze price and do it again. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me take the screenshots so I don't forget it. Let me start right here. Because it's like, I really don't like to mess, like, damn, I keep saying like a lot. I don't like to make it seem like, I win everything. Because that's what I used to do. Like, if I would have lost that trade in the past, basically, I would have deleted it. Like, straight up, I would have deleted it. And then if I would have won the trade, I would have documented that one. And then, next trade, I'll delete it and I'll say, I didn't mean to enter right there. Like, literally, that's what I used to do. And I think it was just because, like, I just didn't want to be wrong. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. But in reality, I'm wrong. Like, I'm not right, I'm wrong. So I think I just have to realize that I have to just accept those losses. Like, I'm not gonna win them all, bro. Like, it is impossible to win every single trade. Like, literally, it is impossible to win every single trade. So, like, like I said, this was a bad loss because I really feel like I just forced what I wanted Price to do. And Price showed me, like, you're not forcing nobody, bro. You're not forcing nobody. You know what I'm saying? You lost, bro, like, because you didn't wait or whatever. So we about to analyze another one. I just added the screenshots. So let's literally delete everything. Remove that and remove this. Go back to the 4 hour time frame. Let's drink some water and let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. So, all right, again, price is bullish. Currently, price is way up here. So guess what? That is where I'm going to market. That's where I'm going to start. If price is way up here, I don't need to worry about down here until price gets down there. Especially, since I'm just back testing and I'm streaming right now. It's no use to fully break down price right now, like in that much detail. But I am gonna, maybe should start to really do everything because practice makes perfect, if you want to call it that. So honestly, this is a very small breaker structure. This is only like what 4 or 5 candles. So I'm not even gonna look at that one. Look at that one more for internal breaker structure. I mean, how about this? I mark this as a swing low, and I'm still mark that until price shows me something else. I'm still marked this as a swing low. And I know it's pretty weird. Like, damn, you mark that small little area. Yeah. So, and if you really look at it, this is also what at the man zone. That's swap liquidity, right? Price broke about there. That means entry could be about here, and if not there, it's gonna be in this big old area. It's gonna be in this big old box here. Oops, about here. Like that's pretty huge, but yeah. All right, cool. 15-minute time frame, just like that. There's no swing high because price hasn't started reversing, but this is pretty decent. 15-minute time frame, right? I also see that this is more of a liquidity sweep. Okay, this is the same. Okay, this is more of a liquidity sweep, more than just you know what I'm saying? More than just a swing low, or more than just a area. I don't even know if I marked that. I can just delete that one. See, this is the main zone of sub liquidity. Yeah, this is invalid right there. We're gonna mark that right there. We can just delete this. Boom. Guess what? I don't do nothing. I wait for price to come back down into the demand zone. Or I can just see, all right, if I zoom in, what else do I see? This is my internal break of structure. All right. This is my internal break of structure, which means that this right here is my swing low. As soon as price breaks that swing low, this tells me that price is bearish. All right, I don't do nothing. I just wait. It looks like it might go down. All right, cool. Price just gave me that internal market shift. So I got the internal market shift. So it just told me that, okay, price is bearish. This is my swing high. This has been my 15-minute strong. This will be my 15-minute week. So basically, I expect price to break past that area. Let's see. Demand zone, sub liquidity. I mean, supply zone, sub liquidity. This is the point of interest. I'm going through this pretty fast because I'm just going through this pretty quickly, but still trying to show you, right? So I wait for price to tap into that supply zone. It did not tap into the supply zone. It actually tapped into the demand zone before the supply zone. So I'm not going to say just avoid this, but price is most likely not going to respect this area. Now, if it comes back up, then it does. But now it's like, okay, no more selling. Like, even if price comes up and respect that area, cool. I'm looking at this area now. Price is tapped into my 15-minute point of interest. It's like your hour and 15-minute kind of, I mean, not hour. This is your higher time frame and your medium time frame point of interest kind of mixed together, right? But drop down to my 5 minute. Guess what? Look for liquidity. This is the pivot candle that led to all of this upward movement, right? Boom. So I'll wait for price to come into that area. And this already looks like a higher probability trade, but let's continue to see. Cool is tapped into it and it blasted right through there. They didn't even retrace. It blasted right through there. So it might continue to go down. Let's see. All right, let me see. All right, it's continuing to go down. So the fact that it's continuing to go down is now entering this range, right? Is entering this area. So guess what? Now that's when I start to mark up that area. Now I can mark up that area. I didn't need it before because price was still in this area. But now price is broken out of the area. So guess what? Just like before, this was my pivot candle that led to everything. This was the man's zone of liquidity. So this is a high probability trade. And price is tapped into that also on my 4 hour. So my 4 hour, it is tapped into the zone. On my 15 minute, it has tapped into the zone. And let's look for the pivot candle of the zone. So the pivot candle of the zone would be just about here. Boom. So I need price to actually tap into this area before I drop down to my to my 5 minute time frame. I know it's going up, but let's just see. All right, it may not come back down. Let me see. All right, cool. Actually, it came down and it sucked more liquidity. Oh, it might be targeting all of this imbalance. That's really what it may be targeting. But let's just see here. Yeah, that's what I think. It might be targeting all of this imbalance. This I didn't even see that before. Let's do this here. So this is the man's on the sub liquidity. I didn't even see this. So let me see here. The man's on the sub liquidity. Boom. Pivot candle is there. I mean, this is I mark both of these candles I mark both of those candles just to be a little bit, conservative a little. So price could be targeting just about there. Price is bearish, but also price is in my discount area. So I'm not looking for selling. I'm not looking for buys until price taps into the area. So honestly, I just wait. I just continue to wait. I just continue to wait. Boom, tapped into my area. As soon as it does, go down to my 5 minute. 5 minute time frame, right? I need a liquidity sweep most likely because of imbalance. So, all right, let's see here. Boom, came all the way down. It broke above this, creating a fractal market shift. That means the pivot candle's actually been tapped into. But for this area specifically, I'm going to mark it in like some type of range because of the candles. The candles are kind of weird. So I'm actually going to use that area. I mean, but this area already soaked a lot of liquidity, but it may continue to come back down. So let's see. Let's see what price does. And I apologize if it looks laggy. Cool. It sweeps liquidity. I need price to break above that area. Looks like it might go down even further. Okay, it went down even further. It's really just targeting some type of liquidity here. It's targeting something very strong. Let's see. Let me go down my 1 hour. And this is when I use my 1 hour. Because when price starts to do things like this, okay, let's go to my 1 hour. Price is up there. All right, maybe, let me see something. Okay, it may be targeting all of these swing lows right here that I literally did not see. Okay. All right, did not target all those swing lows. So let's actually go back and let's catch that move. So what I see here, price came down here, sweeping this inducements here. Boom. I need a fractal market shift about there. Cool. That's perfect. So now I need price to come back into this area. Let's see. I need price to come back here. And that would be my entry. Now, price may not come back down because it loves to just run. But let's see. Cool. All right. Comes back down to my area. Sweeps more liquidity. Now I need to go on my 5 minute time frame. Because my entry model is most likely about to present itself. Not just the fact that I've seen it before, but the fact that it swept all of the liquidity. Now, like I said, if price continues to go down, it'll literally be sweeping liquidity from these inducements and liquidity from here or here. But like I said, we react, we do not assume. All right. Price breaks above the area, and usually my entry would be here. But since price is price is heavily bearish, that's when I go to my 1 minute time frame. And basically, I look for my last internal break of structure on my 1 minute time frame. Honestly, if you believe it or not, it's here. Like it's really there. But just to be a little bit, conservative, let's do about here. That's my last break of structure. So this is my swing high. All right. Price broke up, but let me see. Because if I really wanted to catch this, price come up, come down, come up, swing high. If I really wanted to catch this 1 minute, right, this would be my entry here. But I doubt if price is even going to come down there. But if price does, then I would enter right there. But let's just see what price does. Cool. Breaks that high. So it comes back down. Just want to see something. All right, it might start to come back down. All right. So I was just saying, but I was supposed to enter here. Cool. Stop loss just below here. Take profit. Literally at this strong high right here. And this is running to TP at this point. I'll go to my 15. This would be running to TP. Like, it might be coming back down to my 1 minute. So I might get stopped out. Okay, I got stopped out in this one. No. It might be coming back down to my 1 minute. And then that's my sniper entry if it does. Okay, I got stopped out in that one. It came to my 1 minute. And now, guess what? I'm at a target a 114. Okay, yeah. It was just coming to my 1 minute. Whoa, what's it doing here? It had a lot of buried momentum I was trying to see. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So I won this 1 of 14, but this one, honestly, I was second guessing it because the 1 minute, I mean, it did have an area down there. Um, it did have a little area. Damn, this is a big old trade. So in this trade, I got stopped out. This is a 1 of 5. I lost. So this was a funded account. I lost. No, I lost a lot. 1,650. In this trade, if I would have lost, I would have lost 750, and I won. I won 2,000. Um, I know I won 11K. 11K. I just won in this trade. Okay, that's surprising. I got the 220 and I times about a 50 because, like I said, I always just do 50 times the. I mean, I would do 1% of my account, 1% of a 50K account, which is $50, times the pips, which is 220 pips, and that equals 11,000. So I lost 1,000 and I won 11,000. Decent. And I'm also going to document these trades. But I'm not going to do it on live, honestly. I mean, yeah, on stream. But I just wanted to show you this, right? I just wanted to show you like everything that I be doing is not fake. And not even trying to prove myself or nothing, but like also I want to show you that it is possible to catch 1 of 14s, whatever. It's also possible to lose. And you're gonna lose more than you win. Believe that, right? And honestly, yeah, this is a decent entry. I wouldn't even take it up even further. Like this is a decent entry. And I know it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. My take profit, but it's not. My take profit is actually at a strong supply zone that's up liquidity. That's why it's the same as this one. Right. And when price started to come back down here, I knew that I was going to get stopped out because, like I said, this is my 1 minute point of interest. Price came way down there. I took it all the way back up. So this is my sniper entry here, 1 of 14. I can say this like, um, when you before I even get into that, let me see. I'm gonna have to change the times that one. Let me see. So I entered in no session actually. And so this is the thing that I tell myself, right? Let me share this real quick. The best time to trade is when your setup meets your criteria. So even if you're outside of the trade session, if your setup meets your entry criteria, you can trade. Now, I know that doesn't apply for all situations because in some situations, like, entry criteria could play out, but price could be in the middle of nowhere. But guess what? In this scenario, price is not in the middle of nowhere. This is a demand zone of sub liquidity. Price came all the way down to my 1 minute time frame to sweep more liquidity. So I mean to tap into it. So this was really a sniper entry. Um, yeah. My bad. I'm kind of rushing real quick because I'm trying to go do something. So my bad. I know the stream isn't really the best right now. That's why I'm not really talking as fluently as I should be. Um, but yeah. So I caught a 1 of 14 and I lost a 1 of 5. So and I lost the other trade. So yeah. Um, I don't really have too much. I don't really have anything else to really say at this moment, honestly. Besides just look at the charts, bro. I'm gonna continue to analyze, continue to get better. And one thing I do need to work on is not rushing because even though I'm off the camera, even though I'm streaming, I find myself trying to rush through this, but it's alright. It is okay. So if you watching this, which I really doubt anybody is, but cause like I said, this is like I haven't really been streaming that long. So, but if you are watching this, I appreciate you. Honestly, I really do. Um, and I thank you. Dang, I've been streaming for a whole hour, bro. I pulled it up on my phone. This thing said hour, bro. I did not know that. All right. I'll see y'all. Actually, I don't know when I'm gonna see y'all because tomorrow I have an interview, so I can't stream. Um, yeah, I really don't know when I'm gonna see y'all, so I might just have to start. I'm a update or whatever. But like I said, if nobody watching, this makes no sense for me to update. Like I got millions of followers, but I am gonna just continue to do what I'm doing. I appreciate you. If you didn't learn anything, um, I say this I feel like it's really me. I just have to get better at the way I talk to the camera. I have to get better at the way I teach. Cause I feel like I was all over the place. Something I just have to work on. Um, yeah. I'll see you soon.